Pisces, welcome to your New Year's reading for 2023. Let's get started for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions, and see what messages we have for the year ahead for Pisces. Now, keep in mind these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements because you could have messages in those readings as well. And that'll allow you to sort of get a whole picture. Okay, my friends, let's get started here for Pisces. What is the energy around the year ahead for Pisces? Okay, root chakra coming through Pisces. So you're interesting, and the past on the bottom of the deck. How fitting is that? The past is on the bottom of the deck. I really like that. Okay, let's have a look at your other cards. So you've got the root chakra coming through. We see mountains, beginnings, and spring. Oh, that is beautiful. I really feel like you are going to be overcoming obstacles in such a strong way. Like, it really feels like this year 2023 is going to bring in a lot of security for you, a lot of stability, and yet movement in the sense of feeling like you're so stable and secure that you're able to make big moves and have new beginnings and climb these mountains. And I feel like you're stepping into this beautiful spring season as sort of a different vibe entirely, you know, like it's almost like as you step into spring 2023, you're going to feel very different than you do now. It feels like in the course of the rest of the winter, you're really putting the past in the past. And I feel like you're resolving a lot of things that may have, you know, made you sort of feel insecure and not stable. And when it comes to that root chakra, you know, really feeling like moving forward into 2023, that anything that may have felt like it was holding you back because you didn't feel stable or secure or grounded, Pisces, it's almost like that's all coming to a close for you. I really feel like 2023 is going to be a time where you feel that you can realize everything you've planted in 2022. Like any seeds you've planted in 2022, it's like in 2023, the root system is ready to sort of push that plant up past the surface. And, you know, it's interesting. It's very much a vision I'm seeing in my mind right now of a plant that's been growing under the ground all this time, but you haven't been able to see it yet, you know? And it's almost like by the time spring arrives in 2023, that plant is going to be in full bloom. And I really feel like you're going to be very stable in that root system. And that root system is going to be very securely grounded so that you can flourish and your plant can flourish. And all of the energy around you seems to be supporting that sort of renewal will take place in the spring. And it's an interesting period for you actually in the spring to say, what else can I plant? What other beginnings can I plant the seeds for? And it feels like any doubt or disbelief that you may have held in the past is sort of going to be just not even on the radar. Like it's not even a part of your focus anymore. It feels like the past is in the past as far as 2023 is concerned. And it's like you're not just sort of forgetting about it, but you're honoring the past and you're seeing how the past has led to where you find yourself in the present. And that it's interesting. It's almost like you're sort of integrating all of your experiences when I see this, the difficulties, the opportunities, the challenges, the missed opportunities, the successes, all of it, all of that sort of experience is sort of being remembered and almost integrated and then released. It's very interesting. Honored, integrated, and then released. And I feel like you're releasing it so that you are free to have these new beginnings. I love seeing that new beginning card for you because, or not new beginnings, but I feel like they're new beginnings. And this is a time where each moment is filled with something magical, almost an experience of pure intent. I feel like any intentions you've set over the course of 2022 that, you wondered, well, how come this didn't take root? It has been taking root. It's been rooting underground. It's been developing. It's been sort of, germinating, right? And that process takes time, but I feel like you climbed a lot of mountains in 2017. Where did that come from? Perhaps this process was initiated for you in 2017. I was looking at the 17 in this mountain card, and it really feels like this is a time where you're sort of been moving one step at a time to overcome challenges, and now it's almost like the rewards have unfolded, like you've reached the peak, and now you can see everything and how much distance you've climbed and how much elevation you've gained. And it's very interesting. It's like you're seeing things from a new perspective in 2023. You're feeling grounded. Your root system is secure. There's nourishment happening here. You're releasing baggage, but you're honoring your past experience. I feel like you're not playing any blame games. You're not resentful. It's like you've released all of that, and you're now just sort of with a really strong intention moving forward into beginnings that feel like they're really going to pronounce themselves in the spring. By Pisces. This is such an interesting reading. Let's place these oracle cards here, and we will pull your tarot cards next. Really fascinating energy in the cards for you so far. Okay, for Pisces, let's see here. How will these changes look? Where will they impact the most, and where will you notice things moving in the spring, especially because we're really seeing a focus here. Yeah, it looks like you've got a few decisions to make, requiring your focus right now and requiring you to almost come out of your comfort zone. Okay, Pisces, so as you move into 2023, you might be feeling a little bit of a push out of that comfort zone so that you can sort of feel that self-reliant energy. Seeing some of these cards in reverse tells me that moving into 2023, you may be feeling a bit guarded, and you may be feeling a little bit, your focus might be a bit scattered here. When I see the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, that makes me think that there is some sort of baggage or past stuff that is still working its way through. And I say baggage just in the sense of a collection of things that you've stored up that need your attention. It's not meant to sound like something negative. It's just, literally a collection of things that get placed sort of in this energetic baggage that you carry from experience to experience that may need to be released. But in order to release it, it feels like you sort of have to make that decision to do so, to look in the baggage and see, well, hey, what have I been carrying around with me all this time? And does it serve me to carry any of this around? Maybe some of it serves you still. Maybe some of it still needs to be integrated. And maybe some of it just needs to be released and planted back into the ground, and I'm using that ground analogy because it's really a strong visual for me as I'm reading here, in this idea that you're planting seeds, you're watering existing plants, you're nurturing your garden. But, it's interesting. It's almost like now's the time to move out of that comfort zone and then it feels like adopt a new mindset about carrying baggage in the first place, and that perhaps it's not even necessary to carry. You can integrate your experiences as they're unfolding. You might want to keep something to reflect on, but it almost feels like right now you're really getting this push to be out there, to leave that garden that you've been working on and tending to, and to put yourself out there where you can trust that you'll be secure and self-reliant. It feels like there is some stuff that still needs to be walked away from. Yeah, there's some emotional stuff here that may get released in 2023. I think you're ready. I think you're ready to put this past in the past and to honor it. I think it's a different perspective. It's almost like you may have had resentments and hurts in that baggage, that energetic baggage, right? And it's almost like now you're ready to pull those memories out and have a look at them again in a different way, where you can walk away now and release them. It's almost an idea here where you can release things. You can choose to release things lovingly and with gratitude, and you can let go of what no longer serves you to hang on to emotionally, but with gratitude, love, and this kinder energy than resentment and sort of, almost this victim perspective. I almost feel like you're no longer holding that energy. You're moving away from it in 2023, and that's causing you to sort of vibe up, like you're leaving behind something from the past. You're moving away from it. The Chariot is leaving the city, and in this card you can't see the city, but in this deck, in the Chariot card in this deck, you can see that the Chariot driver is leaving the city. He has decided with his will. He's made up his mind. In that Two of Swords, he's made up his mind to leave that comfortable place behind, because it's only comfortable because you've been there for so long. It's not comfortable because it serves you anymore. That's the key message here, is that you're leaving behind things that may feel like comforts because they're habits, like there's things that may have developed over time, and it's like you're ready to leave them behind in 2023. You just need to leave. You need to almost make that decision to leave the comfort zone and to leave that place behind with love and gratitude, thanking it for all of the experiences, wisdom, and knowledge that you've gained, but that you're sort of ready to move on to something else. And I see the Seven of Pentacles also in reverse on the bottom of the deck, which tells me that you might be at a place where you're sort of ready to lose hope on your crops here. But don't forget, we saw that beautiful root chakra tree here. All of the seeds you've planted are going to bloom in 2023. And all of the mountains you've climbed and obstacles that you have sort of witnessed and endured, I feel have gotten you to a new landscape where you're about to move into. And you just need that last sort of will decision, that I will, I am, I can, and you're moving from one year into a new year, and it really feels like a jump for you. It really feels like a jump that you're making consciously. But it's interesting, seeing this in reverse on the bottom of the deck makes me wonder if you're still maybe holding on to a little bit of doubt, and I feel like all of that doubt will vanish. It's interesting. The bottom of the deck on this card is the bottom of the deck. The bottom of the deck on this deck is the Seven of Cups in reverse. So you've got two sevens on the bottom here, both in reverse. This says that you could be blocked by fear, that there may be some existing fear still in like, am I really going to leave this comfortable place that, maybe not serving me, but it's very comfortable and I know how to exist here. But it's not serving you. So it's interesting. It's almost like you could be blocked by fear still, that you may have been in that comfort zone maybe since 2017. It's interesting that 2017 came up. So, for some of you, that might have been a pivotal year where there was a lot of shift and changes for you, that experience you're still holding in that energetic baggage. And it's been very comfortable. You've been holding it for so long that you've adapted to holding it. And it's almost like, will you be able to let it go? I think so. It's just going to take a conscious decision. You're going to have to be consciously deciding with this Two of Swords to go in that direction and to put distance between you and the past, and then to slowly watch it get smaller and smaller and smaller in the rearview mirror until it's not even something that's on your mind, consciously, unconsciously. It's just you're focused elsewhere on these beginnings, on this spring energy that seems to be coming through. I feel like this winter, once the winter is finished, you will be finding yourself, there's the Hermit, more winter energy. I feel like you need the rest of this winter to sort of shift your perspective. I think the beginning of 2023 is going to be you taking your steps out of this comfort zone and sort of consciously deciding to look at things from a different perspective, to end the isolation. I almost feel like you're coming into spring as a new you, one who's not hiding anymore in the comfort zone, one who's done sort of being isolated. It's almost like you're going to come to the surface and you're going to have this phoenix energy. When I see this beginning card, it kind of looks like a phoenix. And I feel like you're rising up and you're going to take up space in 2023 here, Pisces. You're ending a cycle where you're sort of burnt out here from all of this shift that you've been working on, all of the seeds you've been planting, all of the obstacles you've been examining. And I feel like you're at the end of that cycle. You're at the end of this represents the end of a cycle. And as I look at the bottom of the deck, we see the Ten of Wands in reverse. So you're really at the end of a cycle and about to start this new beginning. And I feel like it takes hold in 2023, but really flourishes for you in the winter. And as I shuffle, that Ten of Wands ended up coming out. So this Ten of Wands is landing now on the Queen of Pentacles. So that tells me how burnt out you are at the close of this year. You are pooped. You're tired. You're tired energetically. If you're tired physically, you're tired emotionally. You're tired of hustling, because I feel like you're the hustle in that you've been trying to be grounded all year and maybe since 2017, and the ground has just been too it's almost like the environment hasn't been allowing that plant to sort of push through the surface. And now it's germinating. Now it's rooting. Now you're going to start to see that first sort of stalk appear out of the ground, and your harvest is coming in. It's coming. All of the work that you've put in to making this big shift in your life is about to be realized. And it's just now I feel like you're needing rest. You're needing some rest. You're probably needing some rejuvenation. So some self-care, really taking care of the self, being gentle with yourself, and nurturing yourself as you go along this journey, because I think you're tired. There's a part of you that the only reason that you're sort of like, should I just give up, is because of how tired you are. Everything is actually about to bloom around you. It's just that you've been working so hard, you need a rest. You need some rest. You're going to be the leader in 2023. There's the Emperor landing on that Eight of Cups. Once you emotionally detach from all of these sort of energetic baggage that we've been talking about, it feels like you're going to get this burst of masculine energy, this Emperor, this Aries energy, where you're suddenly now seeing that you're at the seat of leadership here in your story. And it almost feels like you're going to really take the initiative to be a leader in your story. And I think this could involve you really stepping into sort of an entrepreneur role where you're working for yourself, you're making the decisions, you're setting the priorities, you're leading the agenda for yourself here. Whatever it is you decide to put energy around is going to focus in on and get it's almost like it's going to expand very quickly once you put your focus on it. And it really feels like you're going to be making decisions, and you're also going to be the one. It feels like the word leadership keeps coming up. I almost feel like you're going to have people to lead. Like for some of you, if you're starting a business, it's like you're going to have this workforce, this team that you have to lead. For others of you, it could be clients that you're going to be the person that they refer to for guidance. It's interesting. You're really going to be moving from a place where you're hanging on to stuff from the past to someone who is just like running forward towards their future and making decisions and setting the direction. I don't think you're going to be matching energy anymore. It's almost like you're setting that energetic tone. And there's going to be people paying attention. This is interesting. Let's see here for the Chariot. We're seeing the High Priestess in reverse. So make sure to really trust yourself here. And there could be something hidden that will be revealed to you that will assist you. You know, there may be some hidden, it's not hidden necessarily, but a little bit, you know, like it's almost like there's been something that maybe has eluded you and it's going to come through. It's like you're going to figure that missing piece out. If there has been a missing piece, I feel like seeing the moon on the bottom of the deck also in reverse tells me that anything that's been causing fear or hesitation, it's like you're going to understand what that was really meant to show you. And I feel like it's not going to cause that fear or hesitation for much longer. But it almost feels like it's present now. And I think that's because you haven't seen the fruits of your labor yet, but they're coming. 2023, especially around springtime, I feel like you're going to be shifting as the spring approaches. You know, it's almost like every winter day that passes, you're getting closer and closer to realizing this and seeing the fruits of your labor, seeing the outcomes that you have been planting seeds for. And, you know, for some of you, I feel the year 2017, that was the last big shift that you took in your hands. You know, the last time you initiated a big shift in your life, it feels like for some of you was in 2017, and now you're making another big shift. And just like you were successful in making that shift then, you're going to be successful in making this shift now. And it's really about you beginning again and leaving that past experience in the past, because you can integrate all of the wisdom from it already. You know what I mean? You don't need to hold it anymore. You can integrate that wisdom and release it so that you're free to start a new beginning. Now, I've been pulling one oracle card from this deck for each sign and reading you the messages from the guidebook. So for Pisces, I'm sort of feeling like we need to shuffle a little bit more. What is the highest guidance for Pisces from this white light oracle? I love the way that the author wrote the messages, so I always read them right from the guidebook. Okay, for Pisces, what is the highest energy for Pisces, highest guidance? Okay, interesting. So you've got this card, number 34. I'll put it right here. It is the sacrament of extreme unction. I always wonder if I'm saying that word right. But basically, the essence of this card is it really does speak about releasing. And it's an interesting message for you to release at this time, because it's asking you to let go. This card is asking you to let go. And we saw the themes of the past. We see these new beginnings. We see this idea of fear maybe blocking you or causing you to feel defeated, but really it's just that there's more self-care needed and this push out of the comfort zone. So when we see the message of this card, it says your heart knows how to let go so you can find peace. It's time for you to experience spiritual closure, liberation from habit and the compelling lure of the familiar. Pisces, this reading is about you sort of leaving behind your comfort zone, changing any habits and this lure of the familiar. You're liberating yourself from this. This is a time to feel cleansed and liberated and stepping into the fullness of your next phase. This is such an interesting message. It really ties into the reading, and we see here a beautiful new reality is opening up for you. Entering it requires you to release your attachment to the past. You have been inwardly preparing for a powerful rebirth. My goodness, it's just so perfect, this message, because it really encompasses everything we've talked about so far. Now is the time to trust in what is meant for you and move forward towards it with an open, trusting, peaceful mind. In an ideal world, you would finish your inner work, be completely healed, check it off your list, and move on without any issues from the past, right? And as this card says, what you're experiencing now is this idea of a spiral, where something has to run its course and no longer belongs in your world. And yet you have trouble sort of exercising it from that energetic baggage that we talked about earlier. And there's all of this confusion and attachment, and it sort of runs into the present, sort of bleeds into the present. And so in order to avoid sort of this idea of carrying that energetic baggage unnecessarily into this new beginning, there is this idea of a spiritual cleanse that you need to sort of give yourself, to give yourself this idea of a cleanse or a liberation so that you can move forward, passing into a new phase with sort of this clean, squeaky clean sort of energy and soul that now leaves your body ready. The physical, the energetic, and the emotional body, all the levels of you ready to sort of move forward. And there's almost this idea, like I was saying, where you can release the past gracefully, gracefully and gratefully. And it's almost like you have to offer this forgiveness and allow that past story to heal when we see this card. This is a significant release. Okay, Pisces, this is a healing release. And it's bringing your attention to a particularly stubborn pattern that needs to end, to allow greater freedom, and almost gives you a new lease on life. You are being born again in this lifetime, and this is very, very healing. And I really feel like this message is coming through for you, especially like out of this big deck here, to encourage you to embrace your future and let go of the emotional, psychological, and energetic burdens that you've been carrying around for far too long, even maybe as far as your ancestors. Maybe this is ancestral healing for some of you. I was feeling like it goes back to 2017, but it could go back to even further, back to your ancestors. You could be healing something generational here. Let yourself off the hook. Don't carry guilt, shame, or blame in that bag anymore. Guilt, shame, or blame. This is a time to release all of that. And it's almost like you're being offered this gift. So receive it, and there's no turning back. This is a time to start anew. It's time for you to be happy and to be free of this past energetic baggage, right, that you've been holding on to. It's time to open up that baggage and release those things. I'm seeing a beautiful image of you releasing them with grace and with gratitude, with forgiveness, with love, and just letting it go because it no longer serves you to be holding that bag around anymore, my friends. I'm so happy you received that card. Give yourself the permission to acknowledge that all people, including you, have done their best. That is an important statement, I feel, for someone listening. That's a very important statement. Give yourself the permission to acknowledge that all people, including yourself, have done their best with what they have and what they know and what they've experienced, including you. Wow. Pisces, I gotta say, I love this reading. Okay, let's shuffle this deck and get your final words of guidance. Final words of guidance for Pisces. Remember, a lot of self-care, my friends. Take even your evening tonight and really care for yourself. Really focus on releasing that past energy. Okay. Beautiful. Sanctuary. Isn't that interesting? This is the card you received. And it says here, go inward. Allow yourself to slow down. Practice being instead of doing. Take time to rest and refill. You are safe. And I really feel like you are born again, my friends. You are born again. And this is a very interesting beginning for you to have that love, forgiveness, and compassion. And it's okay to forgive. It's okay to let go. You know what I mean? Be willing to let go of those familiar habits that might be keeping you in the past. It's such an interesting reading. I hope it's been helpful. I'm going to leave it at there. Thank you so much for being here and supporting the channel. I appreciate you so much. I'm sending you so much love and light, my friends, and I look forward to reading for you again soon. Happy New Year.